Hello, my name is Jeff Pearce, the proud owner of Reclaim World. Firstly, may I say thank you for visiting our unique site. Question visitors ask me quite often is, how do we create a business like this? Where did it all come from? How do you do it? It's very hard to explain into words, so I've decided to put a short film together and give you some insight into how it all began. So please sit back and enjoy. I was born in Liverpool in 1953. My school years were difficult as I was severely dyslexic. It wasn't recognised in those days, so much so that when I left school at the age of 14, I still couldn't even write my own name. My beloved mother sold second-hand clothes on Paddy's Market alongside Cilla Black's mother, and that was my first introduction into retailing. In 1977, my girlfriend Gina and I decided to go into business together, selling girls' teenage fashion clothing on a market stall in Liverpool. Gina and I got married, and we were lucky to have two beautiful girls, Katie and Faye. In 1979, we opened our first shop selling fashion clothes for teenagers called Girls Talk in Church Street, Liverpool. 2 years later, another shop came available 5 doors away, so we opened that, selling children's fashion called Kids Talk. They became the 2 busiest shops on the high street in Liverpool, with customers queuing outside to get into our shops. It was absolutely amazing what we'd achieved. In 1983, we decided to expand and open Girls Talk and Kids Talk in Chester Town Centre. This is a picture of me standing with the town crier and the staff outside the shop. Check out the missing tooth of the town crier and check out my curly hair in those days. Business was so good in our 4 shops. Gina and I decided in 1987 to launch our own fashion brand called Tickle Pink. I got that name from Ken Dodd. I'm Tickle Pink Missus. We designed and manufactured our own styles, supplying our own 4 shops obviously, and most of the big names in the high street. This picture shows 36,000 garments ready to be dispatched to C&A, one delivery for £250,000 back in those days. Tickle Pink had become a recognised brand. Within 5 years we were supplying all the majors in the high street. We were supplying Harrods, Dickens & Jones, Harvey Nicks, a multi-million-pound business within 5 years, which was phenomenal. And then, out of nowhere, in September of 1992, the high street had the biggest recession in history. And the banks ran scared. And within no time at all, they were closing businesses down, ours included.
Has ordered the Bank of England to increase interest rates by an unprecedented 5%. That's 2% today and another 3% tomorrow. It takes the cost of borrowing to 15%.
With nothing but holes in our pockets, Gina and I had no other alternative but to go back down the markets in Liverpool and start all over again with nothing. It took 10 years working on the markets day and night, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and getting home late at night, and if it was bad weather we were freezing or it was pouring down with rain. And then this shop came available on Bowl Street. It needed a lot of work doing to it, but Gina and I decided we were going to go for it. We took it on, and within 12 months, 18 months, it took to turn it into this. In 2002, we were invited to attend the Fashion Awards in London, along with all the big names on the high street, such as Topshop, Marks and Spencer's, you name it. All the big department stores were invited to see who would win.
So the champagne flows at the Natural History Museum, where the great and the glamorous of the fashion business gather for the biggest night of their year to celebrate excellence, achievement and success.
I am delighted to announce that the Women's Wear Retailer of the Year is Jeffs of Bold Street.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to tell you that the Independent Retailer of the Year is Jeffs of Bold Street.
Let's hear it once again for Jeff, Gina, Katie and Faye.
I'd like to thank my wife for putting up with me for 25 years in this industry, because it's absolutely a mental industry, but I love it to death. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm really pleased for the guy that he won, firstly the Women's Wear Retailer of the Year, and then to get the ultimate accolade of the Independent Retailer of the Year. He is, in the view of a panel of independent judges, the best independent retailer of 2002, and he really deserves it because he works so hard.
No, seriously, I'm not necessarily. Because I believe in this business, you have to understand it. We're passionate about what we do. And that's so important, honestly. It's not about anything else. I'm sorry. I do apologise for all the emotion. It was a special time in my life. I'd spent 25 years in the fashion industry, and I had the ups and the downs, as you can imagine. And to receive from the highest accolade of the fashion industry, you know, these are big names on the high street. These are the big boys. And for me, you know, a Liverpool lad with a small department store in Liverpool, for me to get the highest accolade, the Gold Award for the most outstanding retailer in England, was amazing. So when I got back to the shop with the awards, the emotions just poured out. But it was absolutely a time in my life to be recognised. And considering I still couldn't read and write, so to do what I did with the tools that I had was possibly a miracle. 2 years after winning the awards, Gina and I decided to sell the business and retire, which we did. But after a year of gardening, I was bored out of my mind. And I had a burning desire to tell my story. Well, firstly, I had to learn to read and write, which was a tall order in itself. I was 56 at the time, but it did. With the help from my wife, my absolutely patient wife, Gina, I learned to read and write. It took 2 years, and then I sat down for another 2 years of my life, and I wrote my autobiography called A Pocket Full of Holes and Dreams, which Penguin published, and it eventually became a Sunday Times bestseller. My passion and my love affair started in 1979 with Reclaimed Materials. When I was doing my first shop and my first house, I had very little money, and the best way to do it is with reclaimed second-hand products, and that's what I did. I went on, in the 40-odd years, I went on to transform 20, 30 properties with reclaimed materials, and I absolutely loved it, and I've enjoyed it ever since. So my passion was reclaimed. And then when this land came available, the rest is history. And as you can see, a lot of work's gone on behind the scenes to get it to where it is today. The staff at Reclaim World have dedicated the last 10 years to get it up to date to where we are today. As you can see, as we head towards the showrooms, they've all been built. As we head towards the street, that's all new and all being built. So there's a lot of work gone on, as you can imagine, to turn it into the place that it is today for our customers and visitors to come and enjoy themselves and go back in time and look at all the reclaimed salvage, whether it's furniture or whether it's stone or bricks. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my wife Gina, my daughter Katie, my son-in-law Phil, and especially the dedicated team at Reclaim World. There's 12 of us here in total, and you can't build a business like this without a fantastic team, and that's one thing we have here. So thanks everybody. Thank you for helping me create this amazing place. And thank you for watching the video. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed your visit.